All right, let's talk batteries. Specifically, how you find the right lithium-ion battery for whatever you're building. This is, no joke, one of the toughest parts of creating a new product today. It feels like this super complex world, right? Well, we're going to break it all down for you. So, you've got this amazing idea. The design is slick. The concept is solid. But now, you need to give it life. You need to find its power source. And let me tell you, whether you're building the next big EV, a life-saving medical device, or a home energy system, the battery you choose, that decision can literally make or break everything.
This is not like picking out some off-the-shelf part. Oh no, you're basically stepping into this maze of complex chemistry, crazy global supply chains, and some really high-stakes decisions. It's a total labyrinth. But hey, don't sweat it. We're going to be your guide, and we've got the map.
Okay, first things first. Before you even think about picking up the phone to call a supplier, you've got to speak the language. You need to know what your options even are. Let's get into it.
So really it all boils down to three main things. First, the chemistry. What's it actually made of? Second, its physical shape. Is it a cylinder, a flat pack? What does it look like? And third, performance. How does it act under pressure? Does it like the heat, the cold? Nailing these three is absolutely your first big hurdle.
And out of those three, let's be super clear. Chemistry is king. It's the one that calls all the shots. We're talking safety, lifespan, cost, performance, everything. So yeah, this is probably the single most important decision you're going to make.
So let's dive right in and look at the two big players on the field, LFP and NMC. And whoa, talk about a night and day difference, especially when it comes to safety and how long they last. On one side, you've got LFP, that's lithium iron phosphate. This stuff is just rock solid, super stable, really hard to set on fire. Plus, it has a crazy long cycle life. We're talking thousands of charges, potentially lasting you more than a decade. Then you've got NMC, which uses nickel, manganese, and cobalt. Its safety is, well, it's okay, but not like LFP. And its lifespan? Way shorter.
So you're probably thinking, why would anyone pick NMC then? Well, it all comes down to one thing, energy density. Think of it like this. How much juice can you cram into a tiny box? NMC is the champ here. It packs a massive punch in a much smaller, lighter package. That's why your smartphone and high-end EVs love it. But that power comes at a cost, and I mean a literal cost. It relies on expensive stuff like cobalt and nickel. LFP, on the other hand, doesn't need any of that. So, this is where you have to get real about your product. You have to ask yourself the tough questions, like, are you building a home energy system where safety and a 15-year lifespan are non-negotiable? Then LFP is a no-brainer. But what if you're designing a super high-performance drone where every single gram matters? You're probably going to lean towards NMC. And here's a pro tip. When you start talking to suppliers, these are the kinds of questions a good one should be asking you. They should be helping you figure this out.
Okay, so we've talked about the trade-offs, but now we need to talk about what happens when things go really wrong. Because when you pack that much energy into such a tiny space, the stakes get incredibly high fast.
Yeah, this is the one. The two words that give battery engineers nightmares: thermal runaway. It's this vicious, unstoppable chain reaction. And the scary part? Once it kicks off, good luck trying to stop it. And the way it happens is, well, it's terrifyingly simple. It can all start with a tiny, microscopic flaw inside the battery, something you'd never see, probably from a slip-up in manufacturing. That little defect creates a short circuit, which creates a hotspot. That heat starts a chemical reaction, which creates more heat and a bunch of flammable gas. The pressure builds and builds until, boom, catastrophe. This, right here, is why you have to grill potential manufacturers on their quality control. How do they stop these tiny little disasters before they're even born?
So how do you defend against something like that? Your first thought might be, oh, I'll just get a really fancy battery management system or a super tough casing. And look, those things are definitely important, but they are not your first and most important line of defense. Not even close.
Here it is. Your number one safety feature is choosing a reliable manufacturer. Period. A top-tier factory with amazing automation and literally thousands of quality control checkpoints, they stop those microscopic flaws from ever existing. That one decision, who makes your battery, is your single best weapon against catastrophic failure.
Okay, so we've established why picking a great manufacturer is so critical. Now let's look at who we're even talking about. The global battery market is absolutely huge, but you'll find that the real power is concentrated in just a few places. And right now, that's overwhelmingly in China.
I mean, just take a look at these numbers. Two companies, CATL and BYD, they control more than half of the entire market. These aren't just companies, they're titans. They're the ones powering everything from Teslas to Fords. So knowing who's who in this landscape is absolutely crucial if you want to find the right partner for your project.
Here's a really useful way to think about this market. Break it down into tiers. Up at Tier 1, you've got the giants, CATL and BYD. Their scale is just mind-boggling. But honestly, if you're working on a smaller project, they might be hard to get a hold of. Then you have Tier 2. These are still huge players, often supplying the big Chinese EV makers. And then there's Tier 3. This is where things get interesting. You'll find specialists here, companies that focus on very specific uses or are more open to custom solutions. For a new product, this tier can be a gold mine. Figuring out which tier fits your needs is a great way to start narrowing down your search.
All right, so let's say you've picked your chemistry and you've even got a short list of potential suppliers. You're not done yet. Now you have to think about the future. Because if there's one thing the battery world is, it's constantly changing.
And man, what a ride it's been. Just look at this price chart. It's a total roller coaster. For years, prices just kept falling and falling, which was great. But then 2022 hit, and bam, supply chains got messy, geopolitics got complicated, and prices shot right back up. Now they're dropping again. But who knows what's next? The point is, this volatility is the new normal. And the choices you make, your chemistry, your supplier, can either strap you into the front seat of that roller coaster or give you a bit of a safety net. A really good supplier will be upfront with you about all this.
And if we look even further down the road, some really cool new tech is starting to emerge. Case in point, sodium-ion batteries. Check this out. They basically swap out all the expensive, hard-to-get stuff like lithium and cobalt for things like sodium, salt, and iron and manganese, stuff that's super abundant and super cheap. They even use plain old aluminum foil instead of pricey copper. Now, their energy density isn't quite there yet, but for things that don't need to be super tiny, like home energy storage, this could be an absolute game changer.
So, when you boil it all down, what have we learned? A battery isn't just another part on a spec sheet. It's the heart of your product. Its chemistry is its personality. Its manufacturing quality is its soul. This decision you have to make isn't just a technical one. It's one of the most strategic choices you'll face. So the question I'll leave you with is this: who are you going to trust to build the very heart of your creation?